Good morning, my dear students. I have missed you so much and I hope you're doing super well. Alright, this is teacher Farah Zouek from Oxford Schools and I hope you're doing super well. Alright, so today's video will be the Signmaker's Assistant Reading Comprehension Worksheet. So this worksheet will revise everything with you about this text. And I hope you enjoy and find this video super good for you. Now let's get into it. All right, here we have the first question, but I want to tell you that the worksheet is already uploaded to your portal, and please just follow my lead and write with me an answer and keep it to yourselves. This will be a revision for you. No need to send it back to me, but you have to practice it and do it on your own after we explain it here on this video. Now, alright, now let's start. Use the text, the Signmaker's Assistant on the student's book, pages from 126 to 149 to answer the questions. Alright, number 1. What is the title of the text? What is the title of the text? As we said it here, the title is The Signmaker's Assistant. So the title is The Signmaker's Assistant. What is it called? What is this text called? The Signmaker's Assistant. Alright, this story is humorous fiction or biography or fantasy because it makes the reader laugh. Reader laugh. Which of these words is related to what makes the reader laugh? Is it humorous fiction, biography, or fantasy? Can you guess? I bet you guessed it. Yes. A. Humorous fiction. Humorous fiction. Alright, thank you for answering. The main idea of this text, the main idea is what the whole text is all about. So the main idea of this text is about the importance of signs. Signs help you find things you need and they help you stay safe. Circle the letters for the sentences from the text that tells us the main idea. Circle one choice only. A. You told us you're sorry, said the Signmaker, and you fixed your mistakes. So stay and work hard. B. The following day, Norman jumped from the top of the fountain and in the park, As he swam, he thought to himself, I could do lots of things with signs. C. When he painted stop, people stopped because the signs looked so important. When he painted, please keep off the grass, they kept off because the sign was polite and sensible. Which of these sentences do you think talks about the main idea, that is signs and the importance of signs? The first one was when Norman said sorry to the Signmaker and apologized, but he wanted to leave. So the Signmaker told him that you're sorry, told us you're sorry, you fixed your mistakes, so stay and work. Was this the answer? Does this sentence talk about the signs? Or B, when Norman jumped off the fountain and in the park and he swam and he wanted to do more with signs, he wanted to do more tricks and more funny things? Or is it C, when it tells you that people followed the Signmaker's signs as they were super polite and sensible? So the answer is, I bet you guessed it, C. C, because it tells us how people followed the directions of the Signmaker's signs. Thank you for answering. Alright, according to the Signmaker's Assistant, the genre, which is the style of literature of this story, is humorous fiction. Circle the correct answer for this question. What is Fiction. What is humorous fiction? A. It tells about events in person's life and why is the person important. B. It is a text that teaches you a true information and gives a lot of facts. Or is it C? It is a story that is written to make the reader laugh in which characters do or say funny things. So do you remember when we first started talking about Signmaker's assistant and we learned that it belongs to the genre of humorous fiction, and we said anything that includes humorous, it means it is super funny and characters do unrealistic actions that will make the reader laugh. And which of these sentences talk about this? The first one, it tells about events in person's life. Uh-huh. This is the biography one. It is a text that teaches you true information and gives a lot of facts. This is an informational text. Or C is a story that is written to make the reader laugh, in which characters do or say funny things. You guessed it. The answer is C. C because humorous, it is something that is super funny. And here, characters do or say funny things. Thank you for answering. Alright, comprehension questions. These questions will tell you more about the story and more about the events that occurred. Alright, who is the author? Well, we don't have one author, we have two. The authors are Charles L. Blood and Martin Link. Alright, number 2. What 3 kinds of words did the sign maker put on his signs? What 3 kinds of words did the sign maker put on his signs? This was in the first page in the text. It was in page 128. Alright, so what 3 kinds of words did the sign maker put? Do you remember? Words of wisdom, words of warning, words that say which door to use. So, the sign maker used 3 kinds of words and he put them on his signs. Words of wisdom, words of warning, words that say which door to use. Number 3. The main 2 characters are... What are the main characters? The first one is the person who makes the signs. What is he called? The sign maker. And the boy who was his assistant. What was he called? Do you remember? Norman. He was called Norman. Alright. 4. Why did the townspeople chase the sign maker into the woods? Do you remember when there were false signs in the town and people were tricked? Like stop, ants are crossing the road. Eat your hat. Also by Norman a present. People felt tricked and they felt angry because of what happened to them. And the town was in danger because there wasn't any street signs and no direction signs. So people felt angry and they think that he thought that the sign maker um, he made the signs that caused so much trouble. He thought that the sign maker made these signs, not Norman, unfortunately. Number 5. How did the story end? Did Norman regret what he did? Did he apologize? So, Norman tricked the people, made wrong and false signs, and he caused so much trouble. Do you remember when the firemen didn't know which road to take? That was a huge mess, and the garbage was thrown in front of the grocery shop. So that was like a lot of trouble. Were tricked. People were angry. They wanted to know what's right and what's wrong, And what happened? When Norman saw how the townspeople were chasing the sign maker, he felt bad. He wanted to tell them that he did all of this trouble, not the sign maker. So he realized that the town is in danger and without the signs. So he returned what? Do you remember the sign that says buy Norman a present? So he returned all his presents and cleared the garbage from in front of the grocery store, and he hung up an apology note as he felt sorry. So when you feel sorry, it means that you have regretted what you have done, and what you have done was super wrong that made you feel sorry. So, yes, Norman felt sorry. Norman felt bad and regretted what he did. And yes, he apologized and hung up an apology note as a sign. That was his final sign because he wanted to apologize to the townspeople, to the sign maker. So, yes, he felt bad. He fixed his mistakes. Alright, I hope everything is understood and clear so far. Alright, circle the correct answer. Number 1. What kinds of signs did Norman make? Sad signs, silly signs, or explanatory signs? Which one was it? Sad signs, silly signs, explanatory signs? It was silly signs. The sign maker forgave Norman for what he did because he is kind and forgiving, or mean, or hates Norman. Does anyone know a person that is super forgiving and he keeps forgiving everything for an every mistake? So people who are super forgiving, they are kind, not mean, not hateful. So when the sign maker forgave Norman, it means that he was kind and forgiving. He wasn't mean nor hateful. Number 3. What might be an example of words of warning? What might be an example of words of warning? Warning. Be kind to others? Or good food? Or say, be aware of the dog. So, warning. Be kind to others? Good food? Or say, beware of the dog? Excellent job. Beware of the dog is an example of words of warning. Great job, kids. Now let's do number 4. Norman's last note was an apology note, or a funny note, or a directional note. Which one was it? An apology note, funny note, or directional note? What was the last note? Do you remember? When he said sorry to the townspeople and the sign maker? And he hung up it on Dawn? Yes, an apology note. The first trick ever Norman did was hanging up the witch sign, open for swimming. When he put this sign on the fountain and everyone started swimming, or eat your hat, or no school today. Is it A or B or C? Do you remember the first sign that Norman hung up? Yes, no school today. When everyone was confused and they left home, and the principal felt super confused, and the teacher was upset. All the teachers were upset as nobody told them that they weren't at school that day. So the first trick that Norman did was no school today sign. The people were happy or angry or careless after they were tricked. So when they felt tricked, they were angry because somebody fooled them. and somebody made a fool out of them, and they followed the signs in a way that made them look like fools. So they were super angry. They wouldn't ever be happy or careless because like they chased the sign maker into the woods. Alright, I hope you have done it with me and I hope you were able to answer everything with me. Thank you for watching.